Hi guys, welcome to Mii Yao Talks. I'm your host Ayman. We have today a guest co-host, Sarkis Sarkisian, known as Sako. And before we introduce our guest, we want to thank our sponsors, Altos Tequila, Mentos Chewing Gum, and Kire, guys. They are local cloth brand. And our guest today is one of the three founders of Factory People,
Yeah.
Wassim Malham. Was, thanks for being with us here today.
Good to have you guys.
How are you?
Nice having you. Great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for being here. Like, we want to start off with getting to know you. A lot of people do know you, but who is Wassim? What did you study? How did you come up? And how did you become the person you are today? Briefly, if you want to go as we go.
Um, I guess my life has revolved around music in a way since I was young, from school days to university days, and I graduated with an economics BA,
Okay.
pretty far from what I do today.
Okay.
And I immediately started writing in an Arabic articles for a magazine called اقتصاد وأعمال about عن النفط بالعراق.
Economy shit.
So,
And the economy shit, yeah.
yeah. That was
Okay.
that was the start, and I immediately knew that that wasn't for
That
me.
wasn't for you.
No, and moved after that into advertising because I wanted something that was a bit more creative. I did 4 years in Gray, another 4 years in Leo Burnett, and then left the country with my band to Germany for 3 years. But at the same time, started the company with my two partners, Jade and Tala, that is today Factory People.
So you had a band before?
I did have a band, yeah,
Okay.
called Who Killed Bruce Lee for almost 11 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
الموسيقى طبعا. Yeah.
yeah. But
Yes, Sako told me he listens sometimes too.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
why did the
Um, I think it's the same story like every band. You know, after 10 years, you've been through so much together, and you sometimes grow into other things. Or for us as well, moving to Germany, and we got signed to Sony, and we moved to Germany for 3.5 years, 3 years almost, to between Berlin and another city called Münster, and we did around 220 shows in Europe. So we were touring extensively, and the touring life is very difficult. Yani, you're in a bus with you're sleeping in the bus almost all day, different beds, different spaces, three different countries, same sometimes in the same week, doing three different shows, having to speak to a lot of people, present your art, and it's a bit intense. So after 2.5 years of that, I feel that all of us needed a breather, and every single person went their own way. And I love the guys. We still talk, and every one of them is doing what they love, I guess.
and meanwhile, until you were opening the project here with the
Yeah, this the same. Jad and Tala also. Jad had business in Berlin. He had a with two German partners. He had a studio complex
okay.
called the Riverside Studios, a brilliant studio complex, and some of the best artists, electronic music artists that we know today, like David August, Pan Pot, even I think Richie Houghton for a while. They had studios in that studio complex. He managed it with his two other partners, Martin and Tassilo, and so they also frequented Berlin a lot. And I had also moved there, moved to Germany. So our paths really crossed. So at the same time, we were talking about building the company here. Both of us also had a lot of business in Germany. So I think it was meant to be Shui for us to be together in those first couple of years. And we started working together in 2015, same year that I traveled. I used to travel back a lot to Beirut. And 2 years into that, I think we established Factory People, and it became serious.
and the first one was the first ever
Grand Factory was
Grand
the
Factory.
first club
صح
for
Garantina,
Factory
yeah.
People. Yeah, on the rooftop of Sleep Comfort. I think it's our 11th year this year, almost. And in 2017, we got the chance to build on the waterfront. So we got a chance to take a nice piece of land on the waterfront, and we built the first We're currently sitting in the second arm, the arm 2.0, if you
صح.
want.
Yeah, yeah.
That should have opened last summer, but also I think 2 weeks into the opening, the war started last summer. We had to shut down, and so this summer was promising, and I don't know. I don't know about that anymore.
Exactly. It's been like that for a few summers, huh?
صح.
We got only 2023 that was a good summer, and then every summer this is it. No,
Yeah.
every summer.
I agree.
I hope it ends
But it
soon.
makes sense, anyways. We're living in the wrong region at the moment. But talking about the old you had a chance of 2 good years in the old
Three
right?
almost.
Three almost
Yeah,
good years.
17, 18, 19.
Then Corona hit.
Yeah. Then the revolution first.
Revolution, Corona, economic crisis.
Yeah.
The port explosion, and then small wars until the big
Yeah.
wars, and still ongoing. So how do you describe this week, these few years? I mean, I know you guys because this is a club. It's a completely different operation than any
Yeah.
other business. It's a big club. You have, I don't know how many employees.
It's more difficult in a club setting or in a company that is sometimes over 100 employees, between full-time and part-time employees, to maneuver a crisis. It's tougher, obviously, because your maneuvering capability is limited to your size. And when things like the revolution happened, we also felt extremely personal about that. And we also wanted to be on the street. We wanted our entire staff to be free to be on the street. So there was a lot of closure in the beginning to also promote the ease of not having to be at work, but also fighting for the country we believe in, or the country we wanted to see. That, I think now, after 5 years of that, we're almost seeing some positive changes.
Yeah.
That I think we also should give ourselves the kudos, all of us, for that year and a half, 2 years that we were on the street all the time. But when that happened, a few months before that, we had done Five Islands Festival, which was, I think, one of the big milestones of Factory People.
Like, yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2-day festival, 60+ artists, 5 stages, almost, I think, 12 or 13,000 people across both days. A lot of people from abroad came, and it was just like a crowning to our efforts for the 7 or 8 years before that to get into starting our own festival. So I remember we were in and we were celebrating the fact that we had done that, and then a week after that, the revolution started. Then the street for almost a year and a half. Then COVID hit, and from a club perspective, we're not a restaurant, so you can't have social distancing. So definitely, you also have to continue your closure. After that as well, the explosion happened, and both our spaces are extremely close to the port. Got completely obliterated. It was like went back to zero.
Even Carantina, even.
Yeah, and Grand Factory got really hit hard. So we also chose to stay and chose to fight the good fight. We started doing events outside the clubs to raise money to build the clubs, and so it's been a very interesting and intense ride for the last 5 years. I don't look at it as well anymore negatively, because I feel that there was no other way around it. I just look at it with a big smile today, because I felt that as a team, from the founders to the management to all the staff that was with us, and a lot of these people are still with us today.
Stick together.
Yeah, we stuck together for the last 5 years, chose to stay, while a lot of other big F&B companies had to leave. I think they didn't have any other choice, but we always found a way to stay and move our operation around to keep our cultural impact on the city.
So you guys were very dynamic to adapt to all this, no?
Yeah, and I think as partners, we know how to manage our communication in very tough times. And when you are looking at any company, whatever energy you have on top cascades through the entire company. And if you are always hopeful and you're always like promoting healthy communication in the unhealthiest environment, you're always prone to get out of the mess collectively as a team and celebrate that. Yeah.
We take to make things easier that way.
Of course it does.
Having a
course.
solid team. هلا انتوا you guys did branch out. You kept the core in Lebanon.
Yeah.
But you did branch out. You went to Egypt, I guess.
Yeah.
And then the big shift was in Dubai because now I want to ask you about Dubai. First of all, how was Egypt culturally for you? Was it a cultural shock? Was it a
Egypt, the decision to go to Egypt was because during COVID, Egypt was one of the few countries in the world that was open during COVID. You know, they didn't really pass through COVID. They had their own view, which now in hindsight, I feel that they were right. Everyone
Yeah.
else was wrong, you know, in kind of keeping the dynamic of the city alive and not being totally afraid. I know that sometimes people don't like it when I say it because a lot of people also passed away from COVID. And the danger is real, but I believe the fear that we lived in was. I would do it differently if there's another apocalypse moment. I would totally do it differently.
True.
But Egypt made sense because we have a lot of Egyptian clientele that also used to come to Beirut. We know the Egyptian promoters pretty well. A lot of them are our friends. We used to, as artists, go play in Egypt a lot. With my band, I've had, I don't know, 4 or 5 concerts in Egypt across the last 15 years. And it made a lot of sense to go there and open in Sahel. Now, operations in Egypt is a bit more difficult than operations in Lebanon because there's a lot of moving parts. In Lebanon, there are moving parts. In Dubai, less moving parts. And but in Egypt, there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of things that as well you need to adapt to quite quickly if you're not from the culture to understand what parts of the government you're working with, what parts of the city where you are you're working with, and how to coordinate with all of these different people. But the most beautiful thing about Egypt is the musical culture.
Huge. I think
Yeah,
they're very
they're
talented.
leading.
Yeah.
They've always been leading every single musical renaissance in the
True.
area. They're always on top of that renaissance. From the 60s, 50s and 60s with Kulthum, Abdul Halim, all of the artists that really were being played across the region on all radios until today, like
And
everything
we
that's
were
happening
very
in
much
Egypt.
influenced by them. Yani you see
100%.
Lebanese artists singing Egyptian.
Yeah, also like you know, the Wa'el Kfouris,
Mhm.
the Elissas,
ما في
they
كان
all also sing Egyptian. You know?
ملحم بركات was the only one. الله
ملحم.
يرحمه كان
إيه.
ضد
صح, he was the only one.
he would go on the
صح.
TV and بس now speaking of the culture and قبل ما نروح على دبي, how do you think Lebanon is in terms of music culture هلا with the new wave of I don't know how to call it. I don't know if there's a genre specifically I can say about
Yeah.
as compared to Egypt, or do you think there's a bright future in the industry for Lebanon?
Lebanon has been through a lot of different waves of musical intensity in terms of creation. At least during my last 20 years of being in the musical industry, I've seen a lot of like big milestones, and then sometime that you know, the musical creation or that city part of it subsides a bit. It's uncomparable to Egypt because Egypt is over 100 million people, so Egypt is like 100 Lebanons in a way, if you want to know. So you know, there's every single area or street has their own music, has their own heritage, has their own cultural background. And so one, there's just it's a much larger market, and two, they are a bit more in touch, not a bit actually, very much more in touch with their Arabic roots, Arabic heritage. So it felt, I feel, spending so much time with Egyptian artists when I was there for 6 months, especially in Cairo, you feel that a lot of the musical interpretations that are happening today in Egypt were organically came out of the last 100 years of music in Egypt. Yani, they love their past. They don't have that extreme colonialist mentality in terms of language. They're extremely proud. But as well, if you look at it, you know, Lebanon was established in 1947. Egypt has been around for thousands of years. So
Yeah, true.
the aesthetic part of the country, you feel that their pride is not more or less, it's just different in terms of how they view Arabic as a language, Arabic music, their cultural heritage. And a lot of the young artists coming out of school and university, um, they don't aspire to what we aspire to, what I aspired to when I came out of university. I was listening to Nirvana, I was listening to Pearl Jam, to Black Sabbath.
Very much West.
Yeah, I wanted to. My vision was to create something in that aspect. In Egypt, their vision is different. They get the university, they go to the friends they mingle with, all are a very big part of the Egyptian culture. So it feels very organic for them to take that and turn it into something that is maybe a bit more advanced or a bit more different, but stay within the same vision. So that is a bit tougher in Lebanon, I believe, because of a lot of the colonialism that happened in the country throughout the years. So مش حق علينا كتير، بس كمان حق علينا، and it's a mix of both ideas براسي كل
But we
الوقت.
had a good run. I mean, إذا بدك, in the 80s, 90s, the music in Lebanon was
Even in the
they
70s.
pretty much influenced the world with the music. يعني نحكي فيروز,
Yes.
صباح. There was رحباني. بعدين
I think I'm talking about the last 30 years.
بعدين.
يعني we didn't there wasn't a generation to continue that.
Exactly.
Versus in Egypt, there was a generation to continue their 50s and 60s renaissance. We had also a renaissance in 50s and 60s. You're right. The Fayrouz, the Malham Barakat,
بعدين in the
وديع
90s,
الطافي.
early 2000s كنا عم نحكي عن مثلا إذا بدك وائل كفوري, نانسي انه عرفت كيف؟
A bit more on the pop.
انه ايه صار كثير different. بعدين من بعد هيدي we shifted
Yeah.
to something completely different. صرنا يا
Here
انه
comes his generation.
اذا
I think.
بدك الكالتشر وديع الشيخ وهيدا الستايل عرفتنا
Yeah.
الميوزك, او الكالتشر اللي عن جد في تخبيص, انا هيك بقول يعني.
It's مثل كل شيء بهيدا البلد كتير صعب to put your finger on what's going on, and there's a lot going on, صح؟ Like so many different aspects of this country and so many different aspects of our culture. I don't feel positively or negatively towards anything that's going on. I just feel that we moved extremely quickly into that 4-minute pop song. Rotana played a very big role in that. I think the last really interesting part of promoting the future of Arabic music culture كان استوديو الفن, يلي مثلا ناس مثل وائل كفوري طلعوا منه. So استوديو الفن كان had the right kind of dynamic for it to keep that growth alive. And then there was a shift into the 4-minute pop song with the Elissas, the Haifas, the
Four Cuts, maybe.
a lot of that, which was extremely interesting. I love that. But I feel that there isn't a lot of diversity in our city versus مثلا a country like Egypt, because the alternative scene is huge.
Yes.
The commercial scene is huge. The super authentic طرب, old school, عبادهم على العود والربابة وكذا is huge. And you have like different categories, and all of them have their weight, all of them have the هيدا. I feel in Lebanon we shifted more into a few categories. A lot of other categories took a step back. For example, in alternative music, there was a couple of years where alternative music really shined, but then it subdued quite quickly. In terms of الطرب يعني حدا يكمل مثلا مسيرة ملحم بركات أو مسيرة وديع الصافي,
It's too hard.
ما كان في ناس عم تكمل هيدي المسيرة. في يعني مثلا اليوم إذا بتسمع, ما بعرف إذا بتعرف فرج حنا, there are people in the city that are doing it at a very high level and that are amazing. But Faraj Hanna, as amazing as he is, ما في يحمل بلد على ظهره. You know what I mean? Like there are I don't want to miss anyone. There are a lot of other people that are doing it. But I mean, I think the size of Egypt is just
Plays a different role.
undeniable.
كمان في عنا في Syria has great artists.
صح.
still till now يعني. Palestine يقول Palestine.
فلسطين ايه خاصة
Huge.
ان alternative scene is
The
huge.
rap is huge, and the rap
Yeah.
there makes sense. I mean,
Allah.
they do sing rap, but there is this إذا بدك oriental touch of
صح
rap, and it hits you يعني. It's more lyrical. It comes from pain. بتحسها شوي aggressive, but you know you understand where it comes from.
صح.
هلا getting out a bit of music شوي كنت بدي اسالك عن دبي. I want to ask the shift you did, guys, from Soul Kitchen
Yeah.
بلبنان to Soul Kitchen Dubai, which is a fully operational F&B venue.
صح.
So you moving to a place where you didn't really serve food and got into this industry of like having a kitchen operational.
Yeah.
How tough of a change was it for you?
We love food. The three of us, we really love food, and a lot of our travel is centered around food. A lot of our local outings are centered around food. We appreciate amazing chefs that are doing different things. One of my favorite restaurants to come to in Lebanon was Ter, your
صح,
restaurant.
I used to remember you used to guys come.
Almost كل سفرة كنت أحجز.
True, true.
And there's a big scene, and we were getting ready to open our first restaurant in 2019. Soul Kitchen in the first had a second floor which was the kitchen, so it was going to be a restaurant. We had a menu, everything was ready, but 2 weeks before the opening the revolution happened, and we paused on that dream. And we also had another restaurant that we had been talking about for a while to open in next to Karantina as well, called Habibi's back then. So it was almost like also an Arabic direction. So we had a lot of ideas to get into the restaurant world that we're very passionate about. Back in 2018, we planned it throughout 2018. 2019 was supposed to be the opening, and what happened happened. So when we hit Dubai, we felt that Dubai is a city where we can realize that dream, and we started working on Soul Kitchen, the restaurant there, because it's been as a thought process since 5 years now.
And then it happened there.
Yeah, and I guess we didn't realize that the space was too big, but the space was too big.
Yeah.
Now it's great, but yeah, I feel that as a company we've gotten into a place where we are comfortable in big operations.
But now you still think the big operations are good. Yeah. I mean, in places like Soul Kitchen Dubai, you would have made it a bit smaller, cozier, maybe.
When we first saw the space, it was actually a massive space. We split it into 3 spaces. So you have, in that thought process of making it a bit cozier, so you have one part of it is Soul Kitchen, another part is Reunion, the club, and the third part that we're working on opening now in the next couple of months. So we segmented the major space into 3 different spaces.
Okay. And the challenges of having a kitchen, operational kitchen.
We're nerds in operations. We really focus on the detail. We have a full-on daytime part of factory people that people don't know about. We have a super well-functional office with amazing people working in it from different departments: CRM, marketing, content, operations, back of house, finance, accounting. It's all in-house, and so it was يعني it just made a lot of sense to it made a lot of sense to go in that direction.
And people talking about having an operational like daytime job, people tend to see you here playing as a DJ till 4 or 5 a.m. But they don't realize that you wake up at 8 a.m. and you have to be at the office every day. It's a tough business we live in.
It's day and night.
How important is the homogeneity between you and your partners? You guys stuck around for a long time, so
we've been
really
friends first and foremost for over 12 years. The way it started was Jad had a band growing up. He's a singer as well. He's a magnificent singer and a great composer.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the band was called Blend. You can check it out on YouTube. I don't know if they're on Spotify, but for sure they're on YouTube. Really nice music videos and great music. And he was partners with my cousin called Abdo in the basement, a club that I used to go to when I hit 18, 19. And he was always a person in the scene that I looked up to a lot. And in my mind, I loved to get the chance at some point to work with him. And when I left, we became friends through my band. So I used to perform in See You Next Sat, the parties that he used to do with Tala, and a lot of other amazing people like Hadi and a crew of people that used to do See You Next Sat. I used to perform there. So we became friends and we bonded over music, which is the sacred bond of factory people. And when I quit Leo Burnett and wanted to pursue my musical career, I had a lot of background in brand creation. Um, we started working together on small projects for Unaxat, for parties, for Grand Factory as well. And then we realized that we love working together, and we realized that we form a proper, healthy dynamic. We also wanted to create an office culture that was not toxic, because I come from multinationals and it's extremely toxic to work in multinationals. So we wanting to create a non-toxic work environment and having the same kind of dream of creating beautiful brands and beautiful spaces. It just made a lot of sense for us to work together. And we started working together على الكنباية عنده بالبيت بالجعيتاوي before there was an office. So we would sit on a couch and we would talk about ideas. Tala would sketch them. Yeah, it started that like that organic, that's special, that's small. And then the dream grew much larger very quickly. So after like discussing that with Jad, meeting Tala, who's one of my best friends, and realizing that she's my favorite creative on earth. And I've worked with a lot of creatives because I've been in agencies for 10 years. So creatively, she always brings the most beautiful kind of eye towards any project. And I'm not saying that because we're partners. We have a very open, very like honest conversation between each other. But no, we love working together. We love surprising each other, and we've checked each other in times where we've needed checking. We've
clicked.
Yeah,
All trio.
of course.
And the honesty. I mean, when you check each other, I mean, you say,
we're honest.
something's not. This is not. This is it.
Yeah.
And you shifted as a DJ based on the venue here.
No, I'm when I got out of Who Killed Bruce Lee, I wanted to stay around music, but I also wanted to host my friends in our spaces. So DJing was the way to do that. Like you would host friends and family at the space, play music for them. So لألي, as if I was doing it at home. I know this is home for me. But it was for me. It was more about hosting than it was about DJing. Still till today. But now I'm back into composing music, and I feel that that's the real musical part of my life. It's not really DJing; it's more composing, performing, that direction.
The other day, I was checking your stories, and I saw you going on an emotional rant.
Yeah.
About the difference of music now and the people that used to come to clubs and and I see it now. Okay, but maybe it's been a year or two where I see like things are changing in Lebanon in terms of music. I mean, people used to go watch DJs and listen to music. How different is it? How different is the scene is now? Like, where did that? I'm saying it as an emotional rant because it came from the heart for me.
Yeah, 100%. I just woke up with that with هيك بلاط على صدري. You know, I feel that that's why I love what you guys did in Ter and in Mii Yao, and I love the music in both. And I used to really enjoy having a bite in Ter and having a playlist in the background that was not kind of music. You know, like it was alternative Arabic music, alternative Occidental music, and it was an amazing vibe to have dinner to. And you would Shazam stuff that you didn't know. That's part of going out, you know, like.
True.
And the vinyl culture that you guys are promoting in Mii Yao as well. So my point is used to go to bars and used to discover music long before clubs. The dark corner for me is stepping into a club and them playing kind of music. Yeah, I love kind of music. It's amazing, but it can't be the only thing that we listen to. It can't be the only direction that we're looking at, because a very big part of musical culture or musical upbringing, for any human that interacts with music, is the discovery process, right? And you go out, you discover, you like to go to spaces because you know that when you come back from those spaces, you go back home, you're thinking about what you listen to, you want to
Sure.
find what is that
Something.
genre.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, who's
New
that
artist.
artist?
Yeah.
Exactly. And in that discovery, it changes your perspective on so many things. It changes your day, it can change your week, it can send you on a rabbit hole of research. There's a lot connected to music that I feel with this new direction of everyone listening to the same thing, or not everyone, the mass listening to the same thing, which is Afro house and its derivatives. I feel we're missing out on a much bigger opportunity to for music to play a beautiful role in our lives. So it's not only meant to make you dance. A big part of it is making you dance, but and a big part of it is social connection.
True.
But also a much larger part of it is research, discovery, life altering shit. Yeah.
And how hard is it for you guys to keep bringing artists to introduce new music to Lebanon?
That's why we have multiple rooms. The idea of multiple rooms came from there. So in a main space like this one, where you can host 3,000 to 4,000 people, you need a main artist, you need a big puller, and we love that. I love the artists that we book here, but I also love to have the choice, and I think a lot of the clientele
that can play
Yeah,
Afro House, that play
exactly. I love that
the soul
vibe.
kitchen vibe.
Yeah.
That goes in different rooms, right?
Exactly. So I listen to mainstream music and I enjoy listening to mainstream music. And I think it's a very big part of my life as well. But I love to have the choice. I like to,
Exactly.
when I want to go out on a weekend, to have the choice of what am I feeling today. So that's why it becomes dangerous when even bars are playing the same music and they're not really pushing the envelope. So that's why we build smaller rooms, different rooms. So on any night you can come here, you could experience different energies. In house call, it would be house music that is a bit more researched, a bit more on the alternative side. Soul Kitchen is more world music, or Soul Sister now, the room 3, more world music, a bit of beautiful African Fela Kuti, that kind of direction, but as well some Latino, as well some really nice soul music. So you have the choice in hip hop as well.
Fun.
Yeah, with Party and Bullshit, that's amazing.
Some people like that. They like to go and dance.
Yeah, the
there.
diversity.
Yeah, diversity as well. So how important for you working in a business like this? Recently, before we started, you were saying you were on a break.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about the importance of knowing when to listen to your body in an industry so physically demanding. كمان بلبنان, you want to talk
صح.
about F&B in Lebanon. It's one, very physically demanding. Two, كمان mentally.
صح.
Because you have to, even if you're on a good day and a bad day, you have to come and show your team you're there on a good note. Talk to a lot of people and take care of a lot of people, and just be that energetic, optimistic figure in a place like this, especially. How important is it to sometimes listen to your body and say, you know what, fuck this, I need to take care of myself.
Yeah. And we're having this podcast in the Men's Mental Health Month, which is amazing. You learn about this first rule of hospitality, that you have to always be generous, always be positive, always be in a good mindset, always be giving, always be sociable. Client is king, and I agree to that 100%, because who wants to go out to a space where there's bad energy? You want to go out to a space where you feel free, liberated, well served, but we are a different breed of humans versus people that work in other industries that don't need to deal with 100 people on the daily. sometimes more than 100 people on bigger events and weekends, and that drains you. It takes a lot of energy for you to put people in that positive mindset when they are coming to you and searching for it, and you know, in a lot of instances paying for it, right? So it's when you also take that role that we play within hospitality and you take and put it geographically in Lebanon, where you also have to deal with a lot of other stressful things like restarting your business, figuring out your financials always when crises hit, maneuvering war, and rebuilding spaces. Like, you put all of that together, it's somewhat of a recipe for disaster. And a lot of people that are from outside this industry don't know the amount of energy that goes into opening every day,
Reopening is the
the
worst.
daytime, behind the scenes stuff that happens, the office work. Today, social media marketing is a huge part of F&B. So you also have to take care of that. So you're taking care of 100 things and you haven't opened yet. And then you have to open. Then you have to greet the people and show them the best time of their lives every single time. So I think my learning after 5 years of living in that intensity, because there was 5 years before that where it wasn't that intense, because you were only dealing with normal
was routine.
circumstances.
Normal routine to some
Yeah,
extent.
normal problems, normal circumstances, normal issues that had normal solutions. Then the last 5 years came where everything was kind of abnormal, and you're still pushing as hard, if not harder. So people in hospitality need the real time off, like real time off, like not our weekends anyway are not off because our weekends is when we work the most.
True.
But you need real disconnect, real time off. You need to have the right tools for you to be able to understand how to disconnect. Disconnecting means maybe shutting off your phone and your laptop for 3 days a week or 2 days a week, and completely focusing on your mental clarity, your mental health. Your I thought I was invincible in my thought process, and no, I've never hit a brick wall physically until I did, you know. And then when I did, I started thinking, oh, okay, interesting.
That's your limit. So you get
100%.
to know yourself.
Yeah, and your body shows you. Your body chooses the most
The right
difficult
time,
way to show you that you do have limits and you need to be careful and you need
Experience
to
burnouts there.
de-stress. Yeah.
How's it been like? I mean, I'm sure you're not a heavy drinker, but being sober,
Yeah,
like,
for almost a
fully-
year now.
yeah, how does it feel? What's different?
It's not a choice of wanting to drink or not wanting to drink from a health perspective. I personally enjoyed always food more than I enjoyed alcohol, and I only drank in social settings. And I realized that when I realized that I never have alcohol at home. My fridge never has alcohol. I don't have a bar. So I was drinking in social settings because, you know, we're with a crew of people. We have a bottle of
Exactly.
tequila. Everyone's drinking. I'm gonna drink, but
Okay.
it wasn't like a passion of mine because I go to other people's houses and I see they have
Full
like
bar.
50 kinds of whiskey
Whiskeys
and the Japanese whiskey, and they're super passionate about it. I mean, I'm sure you're extremely
No,
passionate.
I don't have a bottle of I don't have a bottle.
No, I'm saying at least you're passionate
yeah,
about
yeah. It's my job.
yeah,
but
yeah.
At my place, I don't have a bottle.
Hey,
And now that I'm
so
thinking about it, it does
yeah.
make sense.
And then I realized, you know, what if I stop for a while, and what big difference is that gonna make? For me, it didn't make a big difference health wise because I wasn't a big drinker, but I think like it gave me more clarity in terms of not doing the things that I was doing because of social context. And doing it just because I really love doing it. If I really love doing it, I'm gonna do it. I love بحب كأس العرق نهار الأحد كتير. بذكرني بعائلتي، بذكرني بالأكل الطيب، بذكرني بالموسيقى الحلوة بتنلعب نهار الأحد. It reminds me of all the beautiful things. I will go back to that for
Yeah, it's
sure.
part of our culture. And
Yeah, yeah. I'll definitely go back to that.
It's
That's
something in our norms. Yeah.
yeah. But in a Wednesday night drink,
Now that you think about it, yeah.
I love بحب الريم sparkling water. Alaya Talaya
Talaya,
Alaya sparkling water. I love that.
Also, another aspect is about keeping yourself in shape, taking
Yeah.
care of your body as well.
صح.
And we
Which
see a lot of
most
people
don't
in this
do, by
industry.
the way.
People really don't consider it.
running or working out, going to the
Whatever
gym,
it is,
swimming,
I
whatever
mean,
it is, whatever it is, you
doing 100 push-ups a day, just doing something that's difficult to do
Yeah, our
in
time
a
is
day.
not normal. Our effort in this industry is not normal. So I understand people that think, on top of all this shit, gym, yes,
But
I
don't you
get it.
think that they should
But the
alter
young
their
people, I mean,
life around a bit just to squeeze this hour or hour and a half of workout just for yourself? Like a
Yeah,
little bit of
100%.
time for yourself.
I
You know,
do
like
it.
sometimes your phone
Yeah.
rings at 9 a.m. You know, like somebody is calling you.
I personally do it, but I understand why people wouldn't do it. I've
Mm.
chosen it. And like
Yeah.
I understand how heavy working in this industry is. It's probably one of the most taxing industry on your health, on your body, on your mental health, because it's all of it is exponential. Your office time is exponential. Your night time and less sleep is exponential. How many people you deal with on the daily is
Yeah.
exponential. You're around alcohol and that's exponential. You end up eating at 4 in the morning 10 times more than anyone else. انك تعبان بدك تاكل صار لك 5 ساعات عم تشتغل. That's exponential. The issues in terms of lifespan of a work, someone works in I don't know, in Amazon, they can work in Amazon for 15 years. When you have a bar or a club, every 3-4 years you have to open a new one. So that's also exponential. The change is exponential.
True.
So when you're in an industry where everything is exponential, I really understand people that are like, okay, maybe I don't also force myself into a sports routine, although they are the people that need it the most. But I get it. I get انه بس عبالي ارخيها اقعد على الكاوتش احضر شيء كتير اهبل وما افكر بشيء وقت خطي.
Mm.
I get it.
I want to go back to music, especially your music, Malham Electric. I mean,
Yeah.
you released 2 songs. One a few years ago, we used to play it at there. We had it on our. No, I think you released 2 songs back
Yeah.
then, صح؟
Yeah. Both of them used to play at there. كله
Then
بنات
did you-
وفقط على بالي.
فقط على بالي. And
صح.
did you release anytime هلا؟
I'm preparing. There was the Ya Boy release, but
صح,
no,
Ya Boy.
I don't think it was terror material. It was like
It's more different. Yeah.
it was heavier. But I've been preparing my second album for the last 4 years almost. So it's a double. It's almost a 20-track double album, but it's a work of almost 4 years, and I'm pretty excited to release it because I really dove deeper into Arabic music and Arabic culture, and because I had it when I was young, شو كنا نسمع بالبيت. أهلي بيحكوا عربي بالبيت. كنا نسمع إنه كل الوقت in the background ماشي جورج وسوف، ملحم بركات، وديع الصافي، عبد الحليم، أم كلثوم. بس school made it uncool. University made it uncool لأنه جامعاتنا إنه the American University of Beirut, the Lebanese American University, and the French side, the Louise Wegman. I'm sure that they don't promote in those ecosystems and Arabic is the way. They actually technically promote exactly the opposite. So you get even bullied in school for thinking that way. And that's probably the difference I was talking about, Akhtar, in Egypt, in Palestine.
Syria.
Yeah,
They promote that. They want that.
صح صح. هون عندك
That kind of
اللبنانية.
pride. هون again, you're right. You're right.
بفضلوا انجلش بفضلوا
شو؟ لأنه نحن كبرنا بالجامعات around يعني كنا عم نسمع وقتها Pink Floyd,
صح.
Bob Dylan. Everybody was playing acoustic. يلعب
صح.
أنه we were very influenced by the West.
Yeah. أنا in Berlin طق الفيوز. إنه in Berlin I was like ما بقى قادر أكتب lyrics بالإنجليزي. يعني كان صار لي فترة I'm romanticizing that idea because internally I love it, بس تحس عم تشتغل ضد حالك لأنه
maybe you got homesick كمان.
ايه وانه I come from a humble family, a humble upbringing, and music was my way to create connections, create networking. So I had to sing in English because that's where the connections are, that's where richness is, that's where the big networking happens. أكيد مش إنه كون عم دق عود ب شو اسمه هيدا المحل اللي كان بعقد بالحمراء.
Blue Note. Blue Note.
مثلا Blue Note إنه أو that's not where you network. At least هيك كان مبني البلد بهالطريقة. إنه بدك تكون مع جماعة الجمهور والليسي because their fathers and mothers have the big companies and they are يعني that's where networking was happening. So I understand why as kids إنه أنا لا قادر أظهر من الحدد وين ربيت. أنا ربيت بالحدد، بروح على فرسان العذراء وننبسط حد البلدية وهيك كان الجو. لا قادر أظهر من هيدا الشيء. Music and singing in باللغة الإنجليزية gave me that out and gave me almost everything that I have today. إنه my network, my series of friends. بس وقت رحت على برلين طق الفيوز لأنه حسيت إنه صار لي 15 سنة هربان من أنا شو بحب، عن جد شو بحب. فخلص I was like إنه if not now when. ورجعت بلشت ارجع اتمرن على العود. صار لي رجع 5 سنين بلعب
I've been
عود.
watching your stories عم تلعب على العود. إيه.
And that gave me the in back into understanding the theory of Arabic music, المقامات وشو يعني composing in Arabic and how to go there. بس the beautiful part is that وقت تكون مشبع من انت وصغير دينتك ما بتنسى، روحك ما بتنسى، يعني بترجع بتفوت فيها كتير بسرعة and it feels like home. And
So now your album is gonna be a mix of like
few
هيك.
genres مع بعض.
لا انه عربي mainly كله. بس انه my writing process is مش اجي اكتب طرب او اجي اكتب. My writing process is to combine a lot of the things that I love under one roof. مثل فقط على بالي يعني you have the Arabic poeticism or the Arabic lyrics that are heavy in some instances, but you also have like music that is from both worlds.
سؤال Wassim, do you think the live music, by live music I mean a band of anywhere from 3, 4, 5, 6 even, be it rock, be it blues, be it jazz, شو ما كان, is it dead بلبنان؟ is it انه مش عم شوف كتير؟ قبل كنا ننبش ونلاقي نروح مثل كوادرانجل، مثل غير محلات كنا ندق ايام نحن
البلو نوت وكل هالمحلات بالحمراء يعني.
صح.
وصرت انه بطل تشوف حدا who has an instrument, who has a band, that are a group of 4 playing this music just for the sake of music.
I think the issue is larger than مش the issue. The situation that we're living is larger than when focusing on music. The world is, I feel, going into a place thanks to mostly thanks to social media انه to يوحد الشكل الانسان انه this is what you should like, this is what you should do, and there's like this reference of how to be cool. You have to wear this, listen to this, and a lot of the new generation is highly influenced by social media. It's difficult not to. It's difficult not to be influenced by social media. So creating diversity, what you're talking about, and having rock bands and kaza kaza, it was easier back then because there wasn't this
exposure
iconic way to live. This is it.
It was self-expressive.
شو حاسس انت you would do بلا ال peer pressure of انه this is how you should be, this is the life that you should live. انه اذا ما بتروح على تسافر على هيدا البلد وبتعمل هيدا الشيء يعني انت بعد ما عشت. اذا ما بتسمع لهالموسيقى يعني انت منك part of what's advancing in the world. That is not helping other إذا بدك genres to flourish. And we see it in the mega festivals, kind of mega rock festivals, Rock en Seine, Rock Werchter, like a lot of festivals I used to go to. You see the lineup is changing towards an electronic lineup. It's no longer a band lineup. I used to watch some of the best bands in those festivals. So it's not a Lebanon issue. I think it's a global issue moving towards,
حتى جيم موريسون مرة قال إنه I think like the future of the music is gonna be one single person playing
on a computer.
Quite a lot of things.
AI, I think AI is doing a lot of the job, no?
Yeah.
Being a DJ, like going.
He صاب.
صاب مظبوط. And he was dead by 1971. Imagine.
100%.
The vision that he had.
Yeah, صاب. Yeah, I still listen to the Doors. They're amazing.
But what do you think is missing Lebanon so that we can a bit
I think انه there's nothing really missing. بعدين من بعد الثورة في كتير ناس رجعوا على العروبية and that thought process of understanding انه نحن من الدول العربية، نحن مش انه we're not an island the chosen people that are not Arab, which we technically thought for
We
a while.
fantasized about not being نحن مش
ايه
لبنانيين.
I think that died.
But now I think we're more like
Yeah.
استخدم أنا لبناني يعني.
صح لبناني عربي
مين-
هيني and in 2020
100%.
that kind of thought process died and I feel that انه بالرجعة العروبية بكل شيء، باللغة بالاكل بالشرب بالظهرات بالشعر بالموسيقى بكل هذا رح تنتج شيء بجنن and it's just a matter of time and I feel that انه بلدنا works in phases وما تنسى انه قد في ناس مفكرين او artists فلوا اخر 5 سنين لانه ما بينعاش so كثير يعني اذا بتفكر بزيد حمدان one of the
صح.
core pillars منه عايش هون بقى صار له بباريس عايش سنين وبفهموا عنده عائله
أكيد لأنه
ما في يكون بهيك وضع
ما كانوا يوقفوا
صح الكونسرتس تبعه
concerts تبعهم.
حاطينه بالحبس ما بعرف كم مره. نفس الشيء ناس
مثل
مثل ياسمين
بالكوميدي.
حمدان نفس الشيء مثل مشروع ليلى انه ضغط البلد جبرهم يوقفوا جبرهم انه يوصلوا لمحل where it's not possible. So the climate of the country and a lot of the artists leaving doesn't help in creating new art and new music. Tawfiq Farrokh, who's like one of the best Arabic jazz artists on the face of the planet منه عايش هون عايش بفرنسا وبقدر أعدلك a lot of artists that are not living in the country and if they were there would be more interaction there would be more output بس إنه في ناس بتشتغل صح.
They come back or do you think they would ever throw concerts over here or
I think the level of PTSD عالي so الفل it's about the younger generation انه where are we headed واكيد the government has a role to play. The simplest role is انه the curriculum in schools انه بدل ما that 1 hour of music in schools تكون about Beethoven and about Mozart ويعطوك فلوت ويعلموك بيانو فيهم يعطوك عود ويعطوك دف ويعلموك عن عبد الحليم وعن وديع الصافي and make it interesting for kids for them when they grow up they understand. حتى بركي الاولاد هن يرجعوا على البيت ويقولوا لاهلهم تعلمنا عن هيدا الارتست سمعنا هيدا الارتست الاهل يمكن يكونوا ما بيعرفوا. So there is a role to play to change that narrative that is nation on a national level يعني.
Especially for people who don't listen to much music at home.
صح.
So الولاد بيطلعوا ما كتير بيعرفوا بالميوزك.
صح.
الميوزك الانفلونس تبعي اجى من عمي.
صح.
I was about 8-9 years old. I used to play the guitar. I used to listen to the Doors, Joy Division, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath. هول كلهم اخذهم من.
صح.
But now what is the music that young generation listen to?
I think it's
Tyler Swift or some American pop music.
It is what it is.
That really ruined the industry. ما بعرف.
Yeah, it is what it is. But I believe that there's
وقت Black Sabbath came out, they were like, who are these guys? أكيد X no fucking way man. اسمعهم.
صح. صح.
هون عندك Godfathers of Stoner Rock for example.
صح.
The 60s even the psychedelic rock كمان كانوا ضده. Now
very interesting انه these guys all of them are called like genre benders يعني they come in and they change something forever. So yeah, it's lovely to witness their journey.
So when are you gonna be back من القوقعة تبعك؟
Fully.
You're gonna be back soon?
To work?
Yeah, to
work. Yeah, for sure. I know I was actually extremely looking forward to a great summer. I really hope that we still have that chance to do something beautiful in Beirut. In all our spaces يعني Parasol, and the 3 rooms تبع the outdoor events that we're doing, the arenas that we build in downtown for the big events. I know we had huge plans for the summer. We still have the huge plans for the summer, but I feel like everything now it's a week per week basis. Yani you plan 1 week ahead and you hope for the best.
And what happens for the bookings that you do in Rome? Is that the main challenge when you say
Yeah.
the arenas you built, the big events?
It's definitely a huge challenge because agencies are right when they email us and they're afraid to send their artists to a country that is labeled a hot zone, you know. Definitely it's a big challenge. So no, we've navigated before, we'll navigate again. I see a great future for our country. If not today, tomorrow. If not tomorrow, او نروح نستاجر شي جزيره، شي محل بنسميها لبنان 2.0، نعمل ديل كلنا سوا ونشتري على البلد اللي بدنا اياه. بس ذاتس اوبشن زي. بعد في 100 اوبشن قبل اوبشن زي، لانه it looks positive. يعني forget about the regional issue that we are living right now, Iran, Israel, all of that. Lebanon and the changes that are happening. عندك وزير فات على الحبس أول مرة بتاريخ البلد.
ايه هلا recently.
صح. عندك رياض سلامة
بعده محبوس.
عندك رئيس جمهورية عم يحكي بإعادة بناء وطن. في a lot of بوادر خير that
البلد خربي بالروتس تبعه.
البلد بده سنة رايق. ال 350 ألف عائلة اللي فلت بآخر 4-5 سنين بيرجعوا. The middle class that the entire country was built on in a way بيرجعوا بعد سنة رواق. بس بدها سنة رواق. A lot of them have families. They have to think a lot, you know.
And this is our biggest problem. The young people are outside.
صح.
The young people are outside.
صح.
أهلاتهم هون because
صح.
they know Lebanon, they enjoy Lebanon. معودين صاروا من الحرب الأهلية هون. But they don't want their kids to grow up with that same environment.
So they push their kids to
out there
studying abroad.
The West is taking, and the Gulf region is taking more advantage of these capable young Lebanese. لأنه لبناني وين ما يروح بيجي واقف. And a few people like us are still here trying to give the country some hope. Like there's a question when we close the episode, the podcast. ناتاشا عادة بتسأله شو لبنان لك؟
in general البلد.
Like if you want to put Lebanon in few words لك بيعنوا لك, not a few words. If you want to elaborate more, do it. But what is Lebanon to you?
في كلمة بالعربي بتعني شغلتين. الهوا، يعني الهوا اللي بتتنفسه لتقدر تعيش، والهوا يعني الحب. and it has a double meaning and it kind of shows شوي اللغة العربية قد ايه hopelessly romantic. وانا على طول بشوف هذا البلد انه نفس، يعني بتيجي لهون تاخذ نفس، ما بتقدر تاخذ هيك نفس غير محل، يعني غير نفس. يعني it's the same air that you're breathing، بس نفس هذا البلد غير، والحب هذا البلد غير. حبنا لإله، حبه لإلنا. I try not to see the country in its faults anymore. I try to see the country in what it can still give me, which is love and hope and a proper breath, يعني in a way. So هيدا لبنان لإلي.
Wes, thanks. Thank you for being with us here.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you guys for being with us here today. إذا حابين تساعدونا to grow the platform, please like, share and subscribe. We'll see you next time.